Hi everybody, welcome back to Vintage Story Nomad, episode 10 with me saying, you want a fish? You want a fish? I've got this, I think that might be a trout. I don't know, that's a char. I've got a perch. I've got, that's got to be a rainbow trout, hasn't it? Yeah, or we can do you a carp. All fresh, all out of the water. And so in modern news, I have updated to 120.7, which means from the point of view of this, that I've also updated a whole load of mods, tidied everything up. The one downside is the fortified walls mod also updated, and these are now, basically these are all question mark blocks. So because I don't believe in being punished for changes to bugs or code. I think, you know, if you encounter a bug in a game, you shouldn't be punished for it. So yeah, that's kind of a biggie for me. And there we go, and we got a little bit of fish eggs, which we'll throw in the water, give us, you know, restock the pond. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of, you know, being penalised for things like that. So ergo, you know, I have creatively gone and put these in. These are very different, and when we do forward operating base beta, whenever we get to that one. But there's lots of space to search around here before then. I'm wondering what to do about these crops though, because a lot of these crops are going to die. I mean, we are in July. It is going to get hotter. A lot of that is just going to kick the bucket. I might need to take them with me and just sow some tropical, some warm weather crops. I don't know whether I've even got any. I've got soya beans, but soya beans really... Oh, that sounds like somebody at my door. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, yeah, there's nobody else in but me, so hence why, you know, having to do that. So soya beans grow into soya, which gives me soya beans, which we can juice them into milk. I thought or pickle them into pickled soya beans. Juicing gives me soya bean puree, which can be used to make pemmican. Okay, maybe it's worth planting them, because A, they're taking up an inventory slot. Well, that's it really. A, I didn't have a B. Turnips are going to be two. That might survive a couple of pumpkins. In fact, I might as well plant them. They really are not going to do much else. Those, I might as well. It's not going to be worthwhile. They're just not going to live. And flax has got to 40 degrees, so we might as well plant that as well. Anything else? No, we're good. Right. I do need a hoe. Probably a shovel as well. I've got a shovel, haven't I? Yes. Where's my hoe? Hoe. And I probably want my bucket, because I'm going to want to irrigate this properly. So if I were to, let's start off with 15. Oh, wrong thing. Probably need to make another hoe before I finish as well. So my plan today is to go back over to that castle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Yeah, head over to that castle to see what I can salvage from it to make tent 2.0. Tent 2.0 is going to be a fun tent, honest. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to place you, no. We are going to pick you up and we're going to fill you and then refill. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I'm going to put one of these here, here, here and here. These things vine out, so, and then we'll do another one around about here, I suppose. And then we just need to do this flax. No, like that. And then the flax, there are 6. Again, the idea behind all of this is to come back to. So you can see this has got 178 hours and 3 minutes to go before it's... Right. I mean, to be honest, I'm not doing myself any favours with this. The dirt is terrible. You know, I should have gone out maybe and found more fertile ground, because obviously this is all running off of that, but it doesn't really matter. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of you. So what is my plan? Well, my plan, like I say, is fairly simple. First, get through the night. Second, let me just have a bowl of that. How much is left in there? And it's fresh for 1 day. Okay, but I can pop you there. Let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So that's fish stew with 1, 2 with the red wine cap and 2, 3, 4. Probably. Let me just double check. I don't think I've got anything else to eat, have I? Significant. Saltpeter, borax and lime, not going to help me. Oh, yes, lime was the thing I needed to play with, but I also need to kill some animals to make use of that, don't I? Right, we might as well just go with 4 of those then. And then fuel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6. Maybe just 6 there, and then we can cook you up. Now the other thing I actually ought to consider is a simple yeah, okay. I inadvertently broke that block while I was placing these in creative mode and didn't replace it. Right, have I got any more ladders? First question. I've got some of these which would allow me to make not a barrel. Okay, we'll come back to that one in a moment. That's always, I'm fairly certain, well, maybe it hasn't always been the barrel. Maybe I'm completely barking. Who knows? Have I not got any ladders anywhere? You know, I've got a whole load of stuff that we need to sort, so I'll do that through the night, if there's anything to sort. I mean, a forge, gates, yeah, most of this improvised wooden body armour, earth a pinch. Yeah, I think I've sorted all of this, haven't I? All except the bits I couldn't figure out. So I was saying, maybe a small cellar of some description. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. So, no, I'm trying to remember, how do I make a trapdoor then? Let me have a look. Trappy trap, trapdoor, trapdoor. Sticks. 3, 3, 3. To give me 2. Well, I only need the 1, so you can go in there. Maybe Where to put this? Let's dig you out of here, dig you out of there, and then we shall stick a trapdoor there, and that should class as, I think that should class as a cellar. Maybe it won't, who knows. That's cooked. Let's pop that in there, and then we can pop you down there. You're still hot, so you're not even going to tell me anything useful, are you, right now? Take that out. Take that out. Okay, well, I'm just passing the night for now, so what I will probably do is maybe, what have we got? What have I got made? I've got 3 ingots of tin bronze. So I've got enough for quite a lot of tin bronze, actually. Do I want to try and make 900 units of tin bronze and make myself a tin bronze anvil? I think I should. That is probably, so 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, and take that down to 110. That's 55 with 1 2 3 4 5. Now, while I'm making 9 ingots worth, not 9 ingots worth, I've got my hammer, haven't I? And that's not brilliant. Do I want to make another hammer? Maybe. Do I want to make a couple of ingots of bronze? So that's another 3, isn't it? Which is 1 2 3 4 5 and 55. So that should make me 12 units of bronze. It's going to take a while to cook. So let's get that on, shall we? Spread this out for even heat distribution. Chuck in, I'll just chuck in 12 of those for now, and then we'll upgrade to a heavier fuel. Not coke, brown coal or black coal. Doesn't really matter, does it? What does matter is having the tongs in my offhand ready. Okay, I'll see you in the morning. Hopefully by then we will have a bronze anvil. It's very quiet. It's too quiet. And dark. So dark you actually can't see anything. Right, see you in a moment. Alright, just about there with 12 ingots of tin bronze, or 12 ingots worth of tin bronze. I can probably take you out now. I think that's going to trip over. It is. I've got the tongs. Let's go and do some casting, shall we? So the first 9 ingots worth of bronze in there. Then a spare hammer, then a couple of ingots, and we can then move on to step 2 of the things I want to do overnight, which is, I haven't got any copper ingots though, have I? Alright, well, scratch that one for now. I was going to make a copper plate to upgrade this chest. I also realised that I had to put a greater trapdoor, but this does not seem to be playing as a cellar, so I think we need to revisit that. I've got hammer and chisel with me for the morning ready, and it is 3 o'clock in the morning, so we've just got to get through the night. Not a lot going on right there. There was one of those big steam golems wandering over there, but he's since despawned, so that's all good. No fishies. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do about a cellar, don't I? That's that in itself is interesting. So I think I'm going to make myself some ladders. It's not like I haven't got planks. It's not, and more planks. So we can, if I were to go and make myself a solid door, and I think I can do a ladder this way. I can. And then let's think. Let's think. Let's take you out for starters. And get rid of that. So if I were to pick you up, you have got 4 days. You're actually fresher in my hand than you were on the ground. And that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I've got a little bit of rammed earth here, haven't I? There we go. So I think what we'll do is we shall pop down here and just make a little mini cellar. Doesn't have to be anything big. I don't perceive that we will ever be storing large quantities of anything. But if we just come in here and then we place our door there, this should be a cellar. It is. Then we can go and we can, it doesn't have to be symmetrical. So if I were now to place this, which is fresh for 4 days, it's now fresh for 12.3 days. That's all we need. Nothing more extensive or fancy than that. Right, yeah, so I'm just waiting, passing time, passing the, getting to the point where we can go and head over and try and grab the thing. Now what I may do is put this down, and while I'm just passing the remainder of the night, sift some of this, because I might as well. Plonk. So yeah, I will see you in about 4 blocks of this worth time. Alright, it is the morning. I've still got 24 of those left to go, but that's fine. I did get an ancient law book, which I've read. Doesn't really have any other use, but we'll stash it for now. What else did we pick up? We picked up definitely picked up that. Why have I got? I just put that there, I'm sure I did. What we did get is bones and flax. That's bones. Bones are alright. Flint is, I suppose, useful. Flax, definitely useful. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put the flint. Where have I got flint? Flint can go there for now. Actually, I'm carrying flint, aren't I? That's right. Don't get carried away, John. Right. What we need to do is we need to grab you, munch you down, or at least munch some of that down. We're going to grab that, put it on our back. Actually, I needed that out because I think it's got my boogie board in it. It has. And we are going to start off with a reconnoiter around just to make sure we're not walking out into something unpleasant. we look pretty good. I lost the spikes down that end. That's the one thing I did lose. But these are actually really nice models as well. Nicely done. Good, growing turnips. Okay, well that's all fine. Boogie board over there. That's our first mission. So we're going to go out. We're going to start making up a new tent bag. Well, not a new tent bag, a new tent. Content building structure, which is going to be our tent bag going forward, at least in the first instance. I'm keeping my eye out for animals now, preferably living ones rather than, well, non-mutated rotten monsters. And remember, we are heading over here, so yeah, but I need leather. That's the next thing. I need leather and flax. Well, an iron. I should have brought my pro pick. Oh well, doesn't matter. We will live. Famous last words. Red clay there, which will be handy at some point, I'm sure. Did I ever check this little ruin? Rowing? What the hell is a rowing? Structurally, I'm not worried about it being too fancy, and I may need to revisit once we've got some of the basics down, because I think I may need a chisel, and I may need some of the QP chisel tools. I did have a look through during the night and spotted that QP's tools actually do have... Oh, hello. It doesn't look... That's just a rock. Let's not play with that. Does actually have tin bronze variants of the pantograph and the wedges and all of the other things. So I think I can make myself a decorative anvil, which will then work with the tent bag. The tent bag does not like anvils normally. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm just walking past that and I've just noticed that I'm leaving a vessel behind. What are you? A seed vessel. And there's a cat gently massaging her bed into submission. Leave the berry bushes as they are for now. I'll probably pick them on the way back. Could you do that quieter, please, in the background there? I don't know what it is. I can imagine if humans beat the bed into submission every time before we went to bed. Bed sales are a rocket. They go through the roof. So that is, yeah, that's the beast. I shouldn't say the beast because that's just tempting fate, isn't it? And now the other one's gone. Leave her alone, Cromwell. Come on, leave her alone. She's just getting comfy. They don't get on very well, although they insist on being in the same room as each other. She knows he's here, he knows she's here, and yet... rot beast. How many spears have I got? I've got 3. And I've got that. I haven't got my shield, have I? That's... Rot wolf. And another rot wolf as well. See, these are what I like. These little wow, there's a lot of rot wolves. That's just bang out of order, isn't it? Hello. He wasn't so bad. Let's clear the area then. 3 spears is a good. In fact, 2 spears. I think there was one more, wasn't there? These are quite disturbingly horrifying. I do get. I've had a few comments from people that said, you know, these are quite gruesome, and you're not wrong. They are. And if I'm being brutally honest with myself, that is by design. This is what I actually want. I want the monsters to be, well, monstrous. Come on down. I don't want to throw a spear and have to go and hunt for it. Hopefully that's all of them. I don't really want to have to find many more. And of course, you know, we're not going to leave anything behind. So, how big? Just as a matter of interest, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I could literally take this tower. The only problem is it's only 3 by 3 on the inside. And I've got a lot of growling between cats behind me. I'm going to just put one of them out, I think. Alright, I'll be back in a mo. Alright, that has de-escalated the situation, and what I've done is I've put down this lot. So let's start with a base block. And the base block is going to be this. I'm thinking that you need to stay well away from me, mate. But what I am thinking here is that we chisel this back to a half block. And let's just put myself back into the... I suppose they're all about the same damage actually, aren't they? So not too bad. If anybody of us get too close, I think we're okay. But so what we'll do is we'll chisel that back like so, and then I need to get like so. Now I'm going to sit there and I might admit something. I have shamelessly borrowing this from Solstin's build. I've taken a huge amount of inspiration. What Solstin did with that build was utterly gorgeous. So what we'll do is we'll do that on the corner, but my thoughts are, as there's plenty of this, including this here, look. My thoughts really kind of come to incorporating this a little bit in there. Let's just work on these corners a wee bit, because we've got those are your corner pieces, which I think we need to put the multi-material bits in here. Like that, and then another one of the multi-material bits on the corner like that, and we'll actually leave you like that, and we'll put you like that, and then we'll put you like that. So you've still got that structure there, texture, but it's now only half a block thick, and I'm giving myself a 5 by 5 space inside. So I'm going to try and just work this into a single layer for starters, and yeah, I'll be back in a mo. Right, we slept the night away, and there's the wrong button. I think we are going to live. Now I've got 3 stories on. Remember, this is 7 stories. So what I need to do is basically keep on going with I'm kind of gathering also. I'm getting a good selection of crap, I think is the technical terminology for what I'm doing here. But I do need more. I need to get more of the corner pieces. I think we can address that there. That one will work. Some of these are just weird, and I've also got some of the minarets from up there, which minarets, crenellations. Minarets are a completely different thing. But this will be 3, then 1, then 3, then 1, which is no 3, then 3, 4, then 3. So I think we're going to have a half floor here, and then we're going to have 3, and then we're going to have a half floor. So I probably need to think about floors. I have borrowed a door from the place, and I'm kind of borrowing everything basically. The whole build is going to be made out of this stuff, where possible, only where I can get whole half blocks. I may, if I can find the odd textured one, take that, because I think that will add a certain something to it. But ideally, whole. Well, hello. You did not like being subjected to the forces of gravity, did you, sir? Looks like there might be something more up there, but let's take these 15 for now. Have I got any ladders that I can borrow as well? 1, 2, 3, and 4. That will do me for now. Again, I'm not proud. I'm very early doors in this pack. I mean, 10 episodes in, but you know, tin bronze, which is pretty nice. Right, so if I were to basically give myself a floor there, so that gives you 3. Yeah. Now where should I put the ladder? I think we'll put the ladder on this edge, and I'll grab some. There's lots more broken ladders, so we can, you know, we can go to town with this stuff. And then I'll keep going up. Basically, it's really technical, as I'm sure you can tell. But this should give me at least a foundation to be working with, and then we'll continue up another 3, and then we'll have another floor, and then we've got the roof where some of this lot comes in. However, I'm not going to be able to put this lot in immediately, but I will need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I've got to do something with that corner. I've got to borrow those corner pieces as well. So food is not great. I'm down to my mushrooms, although we did have berries over there. So yeah, we're all right. We'll keep going, and yeah, I'll be back in a short while. Alright, third day. Need to get a roof on this bit, just need to get those. I need 4 more of these bricks, these little bricky bricks. Roof on, and I've also started... You know what, I should really have cleared my my environment, shouldn't I? Because there was a rock pillar wandering around over there earlier. Not a rock pillar, the big scales, the boss. The big pile of bone, rock pile, that's the name of it. So we are going to come in here, and I've gone and got myself 5 pieces that match up now. That I've not put them on because obviously I need to somehow combine this and oh hello, also need to fix that. There we go. Yeah, combine that and that. However, first things first, I need 4 pieces of that, which we'll grab from here, I think. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Perfect. And that will give me everything I need to get the edges done. I mean, I will not keep this. I may actually keep this door. You never know. It depends whether it classes. See, I'm not seeing this classing as a room yet. Not that that matters. But there, 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 and there. So everything's easier from above, and then I just need to see whether I can find enough rotten planks to make a roof on this thing. So I can place you there, 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 and we can just grab one of those, and I can go like that. And we've got a very messy looking ceiling, but that's fine. I'm not worried too much because I'm going to have, this is going to have a lot more storage. I'm going to plan some out. I'm probably going to stick a cooking place in this corner, and we'll do a pretend chimney going up there. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, at least not right now anyway. However, I would like to keep you and you and you and you, and then I just want to get myself a whole load more of the aged conglomerate, and do I want to grab some of that window material, and do I want to have a little dig around actually as well? I mean, there's a route of this. Oh, I wonder whether I can incorporate that in this any way. Which way? Oh, I wanted that, didn't I? Okay, let's not run off. Right, and what's in here? Just quick recon it. I don't think there's going to be much of anything, if anything. These ruins tend to be far more resource rich as building materials, I find. But that's fine. I love myself some good building materials. I mean, if you think, if I was building that myself, that would have been bricks and all sorts of fun stuff. However, the sun is going down. I do need to eat. I need to do something. You have got space there, which means I can then get you. I can pop that away. I can get you. I can pop that away. I can grab the whole structure, which is, you know, the entire premise of this series, and we can make her leg it back home. Okay, we are back. My inventory is an absolute sty, to the extent that I'm just going to drop all of these window bits, or at least most of them, in fact I'm just going to drop everything that I picked up, not that, in there temporarily. That doesn't go there. That's fine. And I think the first thing we need to do is decant our anvil. And we need to decant you and you. I also probably... That's going to be the last time I need the anvil mould, if I'm honest. Unless I'm really unlucky and lose everything. So... Because the next anvil I make would be iron. You know, there's fat little point to doing anything other than that. Well, I've got loads of... Yeah, I am doing pretty well. I have deployed the new tent. I've stuck a torch in it temporarily. The tower, if you like. But what we are going to need is... I think we'll make... I think I'm going to try... and make a wedge and a pantograph, because that's going to be useful for one. We'll stick a bit of black coal in. Actually no, we'll go with brown, and it should allow me to do the stuff. I also need to make some torches because I'd like to light that in the interior of that thing up properly. Right now, I think the first thing we need to do is just get these two tools underway. I also want to grab a shovel. Oh, hang on. I need my hammer. And my chisel. Well, I'll leave the chisel there for now. So yeah, there is. I'm fairly certain there's a bronze wedge and a bronze pantograph. We'll find out in a moment. And that moment is rapidly approaching as we approach 900 degrees Celsius. And we're going to start off with a pantograph. I am just going to auto-complete just because I've said it before, I'll say it again. This minigame's entertaining the first half a dozen times you do it. There's a challenge to it. And there still is. When we come to do the iron anvil, there's a challenge to making that with the minimum number of ingots, because if you're not careful, you end up with too many. But wedge. Where are you, Mr. Wedgie? Hand wedge. There you go. But most of these, there's no challenge to. It's, you know, it's a mini game with no purpose. So I love the animation, I love the concept, I love everything about it, except that it gets old very quickly. Terra Firma Craft with its, you know, bend pinch and its randomization, that was an interesting mechanic, because it really did force you to do this. Now these are not massive in terms of their... A bit red clay, that can go away. Haven't got anywhere with... Yep, pop those away. Seeds, I mean there's no... That's got a 40 degree actually, we could plant that. Maybe I will. But right now it is 10 o'clock at night, let's sleep and I will see you in the morning. Alright, so first things first, I've brought the door around to this side. The one thing I don't like with the tent bag mod is they're not rotational. But that is a really churlish complaint. So what we have got here is we've got you and we have got you, which I'm going to need to go up and get. And we need to combine the two, preferably while not having our faces eaten off by any critters from the rock mod. So we're going to take this and we're going to place you there, and this, what I would like to do is I'd like to push that out like so. Then we're going to copy that and we are going to add shape. It's in the wrong material. Damn it. Now if I were to come in and have a look, problem is I can't combine them. There's nothing that I'm fairly certain I can't combine these. That will just give me that, which if I then so I think I'm going to have to chisel this, aren't I, and bring that to the relevant thing. I don't think there's any way around that. Just replace them out, but that's fine. I can work with that. So what we'll do is we'll get you in that mode. This is where a QP chisel would have been really handy. The nice thing is I don't need to worry about the inside. Which is, I suppose, a bonus. Do I need... Let me just lift you off the ground a little bit. Yeah, I probably do. Okay. Well, I think you know what I'm going to be doing for a short while. So, I'll be back once I've converted this. Alright, then armed with that, we place that back in there. And then we get one of these. And we... we're basically going to shove you to the other side. Of the block, and that will give me that. So I definitely do need to do something in these corners, but that's fine, I knew that. And I knew I need to do something with these. Now if I and then rotate you. That is not right, is it? What happened there? Something went wrong, and I don't know what. And then I just need to correct the actual corner pieces. Which shouldn't be too difficult. That should just be a case of except of course that I can't remember which way I need to go down and have a look. So that's like that. That's correct. That's like that. That's correct. That's like that. That's like that. That's correct. Right, so we're kind of taking a step in the right direction here. That will be like you. I think that was right. Well, it had to be, yeah, because you wouldn't have that one. No, that changes like that. And then it's just a matter of getting these in position, which shouldn't be too difficult. If I place that there, we move it out. Now I need to do the same with these ones, and then we need to do the undersides. Okay, let me continue on with these. I also need to make these into those, which is going to be interesting, and get the windows in and a few other embellishments. I'm conscious of how long I've been recording. In fact, I'm probably way over already, so I'll be back in a moment. Alright, we're not going to get this finished this episode, that's for certain. However, because I'm an hour and 10 minutes, and I think I'm not going to cut. I may take out some of the drivel in the middle if I can cut it down, but this is it. This is the shell. Once I've got a planer, which I can make a bronze planer, so at some point we'll do it. I can bring these and give this a little bit of texture on the outside as well. But I've added the face above the door. We've got the thing. I do need to put a proper door in. Started with the fireplace, which I shall probably expand out, chisel a bit around in there. This will then come up on blocks and come out the top as a chimney, which obviously will only come up to here, unfortunately, because, 7 blocks. Then I think we need to think about relocating this and carrying it with us, but I also need to think about what I want to carry in it. Probably in the first instance a lot of chests. I mean, there's room for 4 trunks there. That's 6 trunks, and then we can get some crafting stuff up here, maybe, or maybe down here. Maybe we do trunks either side of the door. We'll sort it. We do have, if we have a look at the Bazaar mod, for example, I think this is so you can do fancy cabinets. What's these? I'm trying to think which mod it is now. If I have a look at fabric, no, thread, flax, Now I'm fairly certain if I look in the flax thing there is a storage for, there you go, twine storage. It's from Deco Bazaar, that's the one. So if I then go into everything and go Deco, there's all the decorative stuff, and then this stuff from Deco Bazaar, bathroom clutter. I'm not really worried about a lot of this stuff because it is just, you know, nice to have. Where I'm interested in is the fancy storage. So if I can, such as that thread storage, for example. There's these shelves, there's wardrobes, which I think are just for clothes. But we can go and have a look, can't we? Wardrobe. Just a nugget and some things to make a wardrobe. Now, all of this is going to be just useful for clothesline. Don't know whether that's storage or not. Some of this may not be. Washing tub, graves, bread basket for food. I think that will hold things off the top of my head. Cooking clutter, probably not. But all of this stuff is like the sinks and things like that are useful things that I'd like to do going forward. However, right now what we do need is I'm going to see if I can't get a decent shot of that for a thumbnail. That will be it this episode. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. I am really pleased that everybody's enjoying this episode. I'm enjoying playing it. I'm enjoying the threat. I know some people are not enjoying the gruesomeness of some of the mobs, but you know, like I say, that was very much by design. And yeah, for me, that's what I wanted. I wanted something that was disturbing. And I love that thing. Now, once I've got some glass, I'm going to chisel some glass into there. We will get a proper door. And I'm trying to remember whether in fact, I'm going to check quickly, whether I have the mod that makes trapdoors climbable or not. Because if I do, we'll go with the... No, I don't think I do. Maybe I should try and get that. I think that's useful stuff off the top of my head. But yeah, because then I can seal the thing up and make it weather tight, you know, and good for me. However, right now, time for some dinner. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.